Boom, we're back, and today we have Derek, the heavyweight state champion wrestler, the wipeout on the left, and he called out Brock, the professor, on the right. Now, if you want to get stylish rash guards like Brock is wearing in this role, make sure to check out my link in the description below. Derek is a newcomer to the gym who was last rolling against BBC in the previous video, and Derek realizes that the month of February is already half over, so he wants to use some of his borrowed power during the month to try and take on Brock Larson, the professor, but he's already making a quick blunder as he's throwing the legs by. He looks to pass Brock's guard, and he's trying to throw in the far side hook. Throwing in the far side hook is a huge mistake because this allows Brock to turn into him. But what do you really expect from a guy that wears gi pants to a no-gi roll? Now, Brock is doing a nice job controlling Derek because you have to remember Derek is 580 pounds. He has no small feet to roll with, and it makes it very difficult when he's on top of you. Brock's also being smart by putting his head in the chest. Since his head is in the chest, he doesn't have to worry about any submissions around his neck because he has proper head placement. But you also don't have to worry about any submissions because it's Derek. Even though Derek doesn't have any submissions in his game, he definitely has size. He's 630 pounds and he's trying to grab Brock's head. Because he's trying to grab the head, Brock is going towards the shoulder clamp as it's very obvious to try and grab this. Derek should try and look to posture up, but Brock is going to transition from the shoulder clamp right into deep half, the standard old man jiu-jitsu style. Now, Brock must love pain a little bit because I would not want to be under somebody this large, but he's going to use this towards his advantage. We can see here that he's locking down the leg of Derek, and he has his hand under the left leg, and he's going to turn his hips to get an easy deep half sweep. Now, we aren't very far in the roll, and the roll is going to take a massive turn of events. We can see here that Brock is working on top, and Derek does not have a bottom game. In fact, he is a very typical heavyweight guard, and heavyweight guard mostly means that you're resting and you're waiting for them to move you so you can try and work to a better position. However, Derek also has a fight coming up, and that generally means that Brock is going to go a little bit harder with you. He's shucking the legs by, and as soon as he can get past the legs and work towards the turtle, then he's going to trap Derek's arm with his legs. But this leads me into my question of the day, and my question is pretty simple. How big are you? Derek is 650 pounds and Brock is about 215 pounds. Me personally, I'm right around 155, but I want to hear in the comments what your guys' size is. Now, Brock has a devastating 3/4 Nelson and he's forcing Derek to turn over, or he's going to have a massive neck crank that he's going to have to deal with, and it won't be very fun at all. From this position, Derek is being smart and he's trying to bridge and get his shoulders on Brock. It's not a good answer to get out of the submission, but generally you can tire the guy out by carrying your weight that you will be able to move a little bit later. However, Brock has a very easy answer to this, and this is called scooting out. He just wants to scoot his hips out a little bit so he can grab the neck with his right arm. Once he has the neck captured, he can easily set up this choke, but Brock is actually being fairly nice. He's able to lock everything up, and then he's giving Derek a way out. If Brock wanted to finish this choke, he could very easily go towards his right hip. He has the right hook in, and he has the choke on the right side as well. Instead, he does not turn that way, and Derek is able to use the Derek Lewis escape to just stand up. Turns out, Derek is just like Derek Lewis in the UFC, and he's the true Black Beast. Now, as with everybody that wears gi pants in a no-gi roll, the pants are always falling down, and Brock is going to send him forward because he doesn't like seeing his Grinch underwear and they're trying to take me down at the same time. But the Black Beast is unfazed. He doesn't like Brock's takedown attempt from the open area, and he's very easily able to defend this. Now, as a true heavyweight, once Derek decides he wants to go, he's going to shoot a double leg with absolutely no hand fighting or setup. He's just going to go, and Brock is very easily able to sprawl out on this and put him in the front head. And once he has the front head, he's going for a very interesting takedown, which you don't see often. He's going for the outside trip, and this typically doesn't work, but he has a very strong pinch over the chin, and he's able to get Derek down towards the mat, and he's working in the turtle position once again. And we can see the fighter is coming out in Brock. As soon as they get towards the wall, he's putting extra pressure on Derek, and he's really yanking those pants down at the same time. He's even going for his own arm and guillotine, but hashtag not my guillotine. It's not the way I would do it, and because of this, I'm going to have to teach Brock how to actually do a guillotine because Derek is able to get his head out. Looks like I'm going to have to demote Brock myself and take one of those stripes off of him. I'm sure there won't be any repercussions for that. Now, as the head pops out, Derek thinks this is the time to readjust his pants because he wants to try and get Brock off of him. He's not fooling anyone watching this video. We all know that he doesn't want to keep rolling with Brock because it doesn't look fun at this time. As the pants are finally tied, Brock is moving in and he's wrestling him at the wall, which is where Brock is best. He does a good job wrestling against the wall versus inside. the open. He didn't have his arms in tight, but he was still able to get to an underhook, and once he has the underhook, Derek is starting to get beat up. He's getting his legs split, and Brock is working behind him. Once he's able to get behind him, he can start applying a lot of weight from behind, start riding him, and bring him down towards the mat. However, luckily for Derek, this brings us to the end of the round, and he doesn't have to get beat up anymore by Brock. If you guys want to see this roll redone because it definitely wasn't long enough, then make sure to comment below if you want to see them run it back. Derek was not having fun this round, but that doesn't mean he won't have fun the next time. Thank you all my current viewers and patrons. I appreciate everybody that watches my videos.